One UI 8 is now officially coming. Samsung are starting the rollout this week for Android 16 on the Galaxy S25 series. Let's show you what you need to know. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. Finally, it seems like finally because we've been talking about it for a very long time, Samsung are bringing Android 16 to the Galaxy S25 series, and they're also going to start the rollout for every other device that is capable of getting it as well. It has been building up for months now. First, we got our hands on with it with the Galaxy Z Flip 6 in a hands-on video, which feels like about 6 months ago now. And then all the way through to the launch of the Fold and the Flip, and that has shown us the final build of One UI 8, or at least what it looks like on a foldable. If we read through Samsung's statement that they've brought out, it does say that the rollout starts this week, and then eventually in October and November, the rest of the device list will start to get it as well, and hopefully be complete before too long. It doesn't say that in the statement. I said that last bit. It's a crazy year. We've had 2 full OS releases, starting with One UI 7 with the launch of the Galaxy S25, and then the One UI 7 continued, and now we're getting One UI 8 in the same year. Wild. Samsung's press release highlights some of the big hitting feature upgrades that we're getting. So let's go through that and show you what to expect. Afterwards, though, I would like to show you a couple of the other ones that Samsung haven't highlighted because I don't feel like they do the best job at highlighting their own feature set. First thing to really highlight is the Now bar, and they make a specific mention of it being on the Z Flip cover screen. So if we take a look here at the Z Flip 7, you'll see the Now bar on the cover screen there, and you can change between all the cards and launch the information by tapping on it and then tap around it to regress it. Same with the Now brief. You can tap onto the Now brief and bring that up as well, and then even go through that on the cover screen, which is really cool. So that's the first thing they kind of mention in the brief, but they also mention the Now brief specifically. So if we bring up the Now brief on my S25 Ultra here, we'll be able to see some of the new stuff that they've implemented. Not so much in the Now brief because I haven't parked anywhere. So if you go into the settings and open that up, in content to include, you've got some new stuff here. So we have parking spot reminders. That's new. There's also YouTube, a YouTube card, and I switched to my Fold 7 to show you the YouTube card because for some reason it wasn't showing up on my S25 Ultra. But you got the YouTube card there with the toggle, and that sort of gives you personalized and contextualized YouTube recommendations based off your login. Nice. There was some other Now brief stuff though that they didn't really show off or mention, and that is stuff to do with how you can actually get it to play back the Now brief information with voice. So if I tap on this at the top here,
fresh start today. Start your day with this briefing.
It'll talk to you, but also there is a pause and
it's currently 21 degrees Celsius. You have an event today. Your sleep environment report.
A fast forward toggle, so you can jump between the different Now briefs should you need to, which I think is quite handy. If you don't want to listen to one, you just press skip.
Spotify has a playlist recommendation.
And it goes to the next one. Funny thing is, that's not part of the One UI update that was started with the Fold 7. That's just on the S25 Ultra. So when it starts to roll out properly, I imagine these 2 devices will get it as well. Curious as to whether it's on the FE.
Time to show.
It's on the FE too. So obviously that means it's going to roll out in that way to the others.
It's current.
Samsung also made mention of Knox and their Knox security platform and how they've enhanced sort of data protection, especially around AI. They're talking about this thing called Keep, which is the Knox Enhanced Encrypted Protection. Basically, this is just to safeguard the AI stuff and the personal data engine that Samsung have introduced with Galaxy AI to keep all of your information and contextual information safe and secure. Then there's also the Knox Matrix that they mentioned, which is all about signing you out of your Samsung account where devices are signed in on if it flags something potentially risky, which is obviously good. It will automatically sort of safeguard you if something happens. And your Samsung account's pretty important, so it's good that it does that. Now, the other aspects that they mentioned in this press release is more to do with integrating it into multimodal AI. And this is where your third party and I guess Samsung's partnerships come into play. The 2 that they really highlight is Gemini Live and Circle to Search. Gemini Live being the thing where you can actually launch Gemini, but then have it be interactive with what is on your screen. So if you launch it by holding down the power button and hit share screen, you can choose whether it be just one app or entire screen. You hit share screen. Tell me what brand of football this is and show me where I can buy it.
Those footballs are made by Nike. You can usually find them at Rebel Sport, Sports Power, or directly from Nike online. Do you want me to find the closest store to you?
Not right now.
Great. Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's all.
Got it. Well, if anything else comes up, feel free to ask.
And it's obviously integrated in with the Now bar as well, which is really neat. And then you can just exit out of it. Gemini 2 can also take what it sees with Gemini Live and integrate it into Samsung apps. So if I take this website here, share screen with Live, can you please summarize what's on the screen and add it into Samsung Notes?
I'm adding a summary of the Galaxy Tab S11 series to Samsung Notes for you.
Like, how cool is that it's got that type of integration in with Samsung? And that's what Samsung talk about with One UI 8, is that ability for it to just contextualize what it sees and then integrate it into Samsung. It's awesome. The other part that Samsung have done with their own Galaxy AI is optimize views for form factors. So starting with, I guess, its own AI first, with Fold 7, you can take the AI results view. So if I go into a website here and I want to summarize this using Galaxy AI, I could undock this part here and drag it around the screen. And that way that leaves more screen real estate. Or I can drag it into like a multi-window sort of view as well. It just gives you that really nice overview and matches the form factor. But then if you wanted to incorporate other sort of AI, and the big one is Gemini Live, I can use the Flip 7's cover screen to launch Gemini and have a Gemini experience from here as well. It's not just about having, standard slab form factors with AI with One UI 8. They've optimized it for multiple form factors. The next thing that sort of is highlighted after AI is to do with, I guess, the clock. Samsung added this dynamic clock a few steps ago in the One UI 8 program. And basically, it just now wraps around what's on the screen. It works best with people and subjects where there's like a definitive cutout, but you can sort of see how it wraps itself around my wife's head and then regresses back into a standard shape when it's locked. And especially with always on display, that transition's really smooth and awesome. It's really easy to customize. You just launch the lock screen customization and you've got to pick the right clock. So if I tap on the clock, it's usually this second one in and the style is that one. And then you can see as you sort of move it around, it will sort of do its thing to dynamically adjust and you hit done. And then that's now formed around that shape. And every time you lock and unlock your phone, that interaction is going to take place. There it is unlocked. There it is locked. Smooth. Part of it too is the customization with wallpapers when it comes to recommendations. So if you long press, and I've got my Fan Edition S25 here to show you this on. So if I go here and go to wallpapers, you can see it's got suggested images, which is part of the whole wallpaper scenario now with One UI 8. It'll suggest that for you. And that way you can pick something from your own gallery and AI will suggest what it is that it thinks would look good, and then you make it happen. Now there's other changes not in the press release that we have documented along the way. Literally along the way, we've made videos about every new change that we've found. And what we found is that there's a couple that Samsung should have mentioned that are big. Samsung DeX being the main one. Samsung have really turned DeX into an incredible bit of software with One UI 8. Not everyone is happy with the change. I myself, especially on the phone, have loved what they've done. I love the fact that you can send apps back and forth between the display for DeX and the phone screen, which just gives you that continuity between the two. It's really great if you want to start something on your phone and send it to the display and then go back if you need to send it back. It's clever. But they've added extra nice touches in too. Now you have widget ability where you can actually have widgets floating on your Samsung DeX environment, which again, really makes sense. If you really want to turn this into like a desktop tablet hybrid, you really need to add in those mobile touches to in line with the desktop touches, and having widgets available just gives you those shortcuts and that fluidity that you really need from that experience. Quick Share also got redesigned. So Quick Share now gives you that really nice, quick fluidity to do things quicker. Say quick more. So if I go in to find where Quick Share is here, there, you now have the receive and send buttons. So you can jump back and forth between the two. And what I like as well is when you select files from here to send via Quick Share, it's not just sending it from Gallery or My Files. You can actually select from documents as well as videos and images and other, and add it all into the one Quick Share to send off. And then the receive one, this just means that if you have it set to contacts only, but you want to receive it from anyone, you can open it up, hit receive, and it's anyone that's nearby will be able to share to that phone because it's ready to go. This is a Android wide change. So it's not just Samsung that received this change, but it's part of One UI 8, and Samsung developed Quick Share. So we'll highlight it and show you. There's some subtle changes as well to Good Lock with One UI 8. And probably my main favorite one that I really like the change to is within Home Up. So in Home Up, you've always, well, at least since One UI 7, been able to change the home gesture animation. That animation from going from here to home. Whereas now in gesture settings, you also have app open animation tuning, where you can tune the speed of apps opening, not just apps closing. So not only do you get to optimize this animation, but you also get to optimize the animation for app opening speed, which, as you can see, was really fast. And there's one other change that we've noticed in here. When you launch the camera and you go into Camera Assistant, show you it. This is a very recent one. In Camera Assistant, there is a new toggle here for 3D capture. Add a 3D capture option to the top of the preview so you can create spatial photos and videos for XR headsets. Getting ready for the reality headset that they sort of have previewed. And there's a toggle right here, and you press it. And when you rotate your phone to landscape, you can take a 3D photo. Now, you cannot do a single thing with this 3D photo yet. Clicking on it, there is no buttons or toggles to do anything. So it really doesn't do anything. And it's even in video too. Like I go to video and there's a toggle there for the XR headset capture. But again, capturing video and there's no option to do anything with it yet. So I imagine that's going to be something that you have to send to the display for that to be able to be viewed properly. Before we go, a comment on One UI 8. Obviously now we are getting more devices with it, which is awesome. The more the merrier. One UI 8 is an amazing bit of software. As iterative as it is of an update, there's actually some really nice touches I think everyone will enjoy. I think that a year in which Samsung suffered some missteps with One UI 7 in it being delayed and launching late, I think the fact that they've got One UI 8 out as quickly as they have to get back onto the schedule that they sort of set themselves has to be commended. They knew that there was a mistake, and to correct it, they really needed to rush this out. But they haven't rushed it out in a way that's made it buggy or unusable. Where it is right now is very, very good. I can imagine that the engineers, the software engineers inside Samsung have worked damn hard to ensure this comes out. Probably working overtime a lot, maybe not seeing their families as much. You got to think that to get this right so quickly, they had to work extra. So I think for them, I say thank you for that extra work that they did. Not everyone will appreciate it. Some people will sit there and be like, well, that's their job. I'm like, well, sometimes it's not. Sometimes they do things outside their scope to get things done to a timely fashion. You know, to redesign Samsung DeX, to get more features into Now Brief and to expand the Now Brief capability set to more phones. It wasn't like they just did a copy-paste job from One UI 7 to One UI 8. There's actually behind-the-scenes stuff that don't get seen, the non-visual changes that really do make a functional difference that need a lot of work. We've obviously been having builds of One UI 8 for a while, and in using it, I'm very excited to see other people using it, see how they take it on board and what they think about the changes to Samsung DeX and some of the other things as well. Let us know if you're excited. Let us know when you get it in the comments below, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.